that America isn't worth defending. Maybe the problem is that lots of people today are entitled whiners who have no perspective and no idea how good they have it. It's like there's a long list of liberal celebrities who swear they'll go if a Republican is elected, and no one ever does. Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday. I guess she flew back from Tajikistan.
Ma has once again taken aim at woke Hollywood, delivering a sharp and devastating critique as he argues that any real pushback against wokeness can only succeed if the film and TV industry itself is willing to participate, a prospect that seems unlikely given how deeply entrenched woke ideology has become in what was once the world's greatest hub of entertainment, which is why Ma continues to relentlessly call out Hollywood, dismantling its beliefs piece by piece and exposing what he sees as the industry's core contradictions.
When I rewatch movies from only a decade or so ago, and they were made in a way that today would get you burned at the Twitter stake. It's complicated. From 2009, to name just one of many I could choose, was made by a who's who of the most blue ribbon certified Hollywood liberals, woke approved and Democratic Party contributing, from the stars to the producers to the director. But it apparently occurred to none of them to have any kind of minority in the cast. You would need a divining rod to find a person of color within 500 feet of this movie set. But if they made it today, they'd do better.
Movies of the past were pure gold, made in an era when Hollywood prioritized great storytelling over ideology. They entertained, inspired, and sparked imagination, creating moments that still feel powerful and nostalgic today. Most importantly, they brought people together. Audiences from all backgrounds could sit in the same theater, laugh at the same jokes, cry during the same scenes, and leave feeling connected by a shared experience. Compare that to modern Hollywood, and the contrast is impossible to miss. Many of today's films feel less like stories and more like lectures, fixated on pushing woke messages and catering to a small but vocal audience. Instead of uniting viewers, these movies often divide them, turning entertainment into a cultural battleground. What was once pure escapism has become confrontation, and in the process, Hollywood has lost the magic that once made its films timeless and universally loved.
Seem to have a realistic view of how progress works. For example, do you know who Time Magazine's Man of the Year was in that year of 1973? Me neither, because who cares? The point is, Time Magazine was still calling the award the Man of the Year. Time Magazine, another pillar of liberal enlightenment like the Oscars, but it only changed the name to Person of the Year in 1999.
When actors take the stage to accept awards, too many now use that moment to lecture the audience, criticize America, and portray the country as if it's in constant decline. What was once a celebration of artistic achievement has become a drawn-out display of woke grandstanding, where celebrities present themselves as activists instead of honoring the work that earned them recognition. The Oscars, in particular, have drifted far from celebrating film and craftsmanship, turning into a platform for virtue signaling and moral lectures few viewers ever asked for. This is where Ma cuts through the noise, challenging the claim that America is moving backward and reminding audiences that progress has never been instant or perfectly linear. Change can be slow and uneven, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. And by grounding the discussion in reality, Ma exposes the exaggeration and hysteria behind Hollywood's bleak narrative, delivering a much-needed reality check.
Forebearers would have come to progress sooner. Ronald Reagan was very late on doing something about AIDS. But the liberals aren't on time either. Obama was late on gay marriage. JFK was late on civil rights. Bill Clinton was late on not having the interns blow you. I don't know if everything happens everywhere all at once.
Even Hollywood's preferred political party is often slow to act on major issues, but that delay doesn't mean America isn't moving forward. Progress in a large, diverse nation has never been instant, smooth, or perfectly timed. It unfolds in stages shaped by debate, resistance, and gradual acceptance. America may arrive late to certain decisions that advance social causes, but being late is not the same as going backward. Too often, any pause or hesitation is framed as evidence of moral failure or national decline, when in reality, it reflects a system that allows disagreement, discussion, and correction. That process can be frustratingly slow, but it also guards against reckless, irreversible mistakes. Lasting progress is built through persuasion and consensus, not pressure or moral blackmail. By mistaking patience for regression, critics miss the bigger picture. America continues to evolve, imperfectly but steadily, driven by debate rather than blind obedience to the loudest voices of the moment.
But I need to get the out of this country.
The out of this country. The one you want to be elected to a leadership position in? What was your campaign slogan? America, a shining hole on a hill? Jesus. Even prostitutes have to pretend they like what they do.
It's not only celebrities who loudly attack America and threaten to leave. Some politicians do the same. They portray the country as fundamentally broken, irredeemable, or beyond repair, yet still insist they should be trusted to lead it. If America is truly as terrible as they claim, it raises an obvious question. Why are they so determined to seek power within the very system they condemn? This contradiction exposes a clear double standard. On one hand, they criticize the nation to score political points, energize supporters, or signal moral superiority. On the other, they depend on America's institutions, freedoms, and opportunities to build their own careers. Criticism is healthy and necessary in any democracy, but there is a clear line between constructive reform and constant contempt. When leaders focus more on denouncing the country than improving it, their outrage begins to feel less like principle and more like performance, making the hypocrisy hard to ignore.
By this political message, vote for me because I hate it here. Now, does America have big problems? Yes, I've often cited the America Sucks list. Things like being 54th in the world in infant mortality behind Cuba, 19th in literacy behind Russia, 72nd in female representation in government behind Iraq. A lot of work to do here. And is it possible for a country to lose itself so much that leaving it is justified? Yes, but we're not there yet, not by a long shot. And we don't need quitters. We need people who will stay and fix.
Ma is right. America isn't there yet, and no honest person would pretend otherwise. The country still faces serious challenges, and progress can feel slow and frustrating at times. But perspective matters. Compared to many of the nations Ma just referenced, the United States remains far ahead by a wide margin, and that reality explains a simple truth. People from all over the world still want to come here. They come because America, despite its flaws, offers opportunity on a scale few countries can match. The system is imperfect, often messy, and sometimes unfair, yet it remains uniquely capable of rewarding hard work, ambition, and perseverance. Unlike places where your future is determined by birth, class, or connections, America still allows the possibility of upward mobility, the chance to build wealth, start fresh, and reinvent yourself. That promise may be under constant rhetorical attack, but it is still real, and it's why the American dream has not disappeared.
It isn't that America isn't worth defending. Maybe the problem is that lots of people today are entitled whiners who have no perspective and no idea how good they have it. 59% of self-identified liberals say there have been times when they considered leaving America for good, like after NBC canceled The West Wing. I don't get it. You want so badly for every immigrant to come to this country and experience the good life, but somehow it's so terrible you want to leave? And I see conservatives in Texas are talking secession again. They have 2 bumper stickers in that state. America, love it or leave it, and we're leaving it.
Ma highlighted another glaring contradiction at the core of woke culture. Many of its loudest voices claim America is a disaster, systemically broken and beyond repair, yet they simultaneously encourage mass immigration into the very country they condemn. At the same time, they often threaten to leave, insisting life elsewhere would be far better. The question almost answers itself. If America is truly so terrible, why urge millions to come here, and why stay at all? These conflicting positions aren't just confusing, they're revealing. They point to a worldview driven more by performative outrage than by logical consistency. Immigration is framed as a moral obligation, while America itself is portrayed as irredeemable, even though both claims cannot honestly coexist. Ma cuts through this hypocrisy by grounding the discussion in reality. People come to America precisely because it offers safety, freedom, and opportunity, and denying that truth while benefiting from it is the ultimate contradiction.
There's a long list of liberal celebrities who swear they'll go if a Republican is elected, and no one ever does. Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday. I guess she flew back from Tajikistan.
Celebrities have a long track record of saying things they don't truly mean, especially when the cameras are on. When it comes to performative outrage and symbolic gestures, many of them excel. It's part of an industry built on pretending, selling emotions, personas, and convictions that can be turned on or off depending on what's trending. In that world, outrage is just another act. That's why no one was surprised when Miley Cyrus stayed right where she was after dramatically vowing to leave America if Trump were elected. The threat sounded bold in the moment, but like so many celebrity ultimatums, it quietly faded once the attention shifted. Actually leaving would have required real sacrifice, comfort, wealth, access, and influence, things Hollywood elites are rarely willing to surrender. In the end, it highlighted the gap between what celebrities loudly declare and what they truly believe, exposing much of their political posturing as little more than theater.
TikTok's telling Americans things like,
Fucked. I think the new American dream is to leave.
I'm 18 years old and I escaped America.
yeah. Yeah, you don't have to escape America. That wall we're always debating isn't to keep you in. The New Republic just ran a story about the vulnerable minorities who want to flee America, including the author, a gay man trapped in the dystopian homophobic hellscape that is New York City. I wonder if he knows that there are 66 countries where just being gay is a crime.
America may not lead the world in everything, but it stands out in one crucial way: its deep respect for individual freedom and human rights. In this country, people are free to speak their minds, live as they choose, and worship or not worship without fear of punishment from the state. You can join any religion, criticize those in power, and express unpopular opinions without worrying about being arrested simply for thinking differently. That level of freedom is far from universal. In many parts of the world, these basic rights are not guaranteed, and speaking out against the government, questioning authority, or holding the wrong opinion can result in harassment, imprisonment, or worse. Religious minorities are often persecuted, and dissent is treated as a crime. When critics casually label America as oppressive, they ignore this reality. Imperfect as it may be, the United States still offers freedoms that millions around the globe can only dream of, and that difference truly matters. In the end, Ma's message is simple but necessary. America is flawed, not finished. Hollywood's obsession with wokeness thrives on exaggeration, hypocrisy, and performative outrage rather than reality. Progress may be slow, uneven, and imperfect, but it is still progress. The freedoms, opportunities, and rights Americans enjoy remain rare in much of the world. Instead of constant self-loathing, the country deserves honest criticism, perspective, and gratitude for what still works and what can still be improved. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.